Sticking to my one video a month release schedule, I realized that I should put this video out before Witch Queen releases, because money. With the Void subclass rework coming with Witch Queen next Tuesday, today is Thursday the 17th, I realized there's going to be a lot more people using Void Walker in PvP. And I felt like, as someone who's been using Void Walker for a very, very long time, and as someone who has watched this video here, I felt like it was important to give my 2 cents on how to use Blink in PvP, as it is much better than people give it credit for, as much as I like to complain about it. This is the only live commentary part of the video, because I felt like it was important to do the intro to the video live, and then move on to the actual content. Blink is very good in PvP, it's very versatile when you know how to use it. This video here talks a lot more about it in PvE, which I never do. Personally, I do not think you should ever use Blink in PvE, because unless you've used it for years and years and years in PvE, you're a lot more likely to fuck it up than you are if you're just using Burst Glide. So if you're using Void Walker in PvE, I recommend using Burst Glide, but in PvP, Blink has its place, and this video is going to be to show you where that place is in PvP. As proof that this is before Witch Queen, this is what the Void subclasses currently look like. I personally use Nova Warp with Blink a lot more than anything else. I'm very excited for the Void subclass rework, because it means I'm going to be able to use these overcharged nades with Devour and Nova Warp in PvP, which is basically all three of the parts of the Void subclasses that I love melded into one for PvP, and so I'm very, very excited to get my hands on that. Aside from that, that's probably the one of the more important parts. The other more important part is, specifically, you cannot use Blink in PvP without Astrocyte Verse. There will be people that tell you otherwise, and I'm telling you now, they are wrong. You cannot use Blink in PvP without Astrocyte Verse. It is an incredibly important exotic for making sure Blink works correctly and makes it a lot better and smoother to use. Do not use Blink without Astrocyte while in terms of trying to get used to Blink before you put on Astrocyte, because putting on Astrocyte completely changes the way that Blink works. It lets you blink further and more frequently, and weapons ready quickly at a blink and the radar remains up. That doesn't sound like much, but it changes the pace at which Blink works. So it's very important that when you start using Blink, you have Astrocyte on. Do not use Blink before you have Astrocyte on, as it's more than just weapons ready quicker. You yourself are ready quicker. You come out of the blink animation quicker. And so therefore, for example, with Nova Warp, you can blink into the middle of a point and pop Nova Warp faster than you could if you're not using Astrocyte. If you're not using Astrocyte, there'll be a good half a second to a second before you can actually pop the Nova Warp, and in that time, you're shotgunned, you're dead. Whereas with Astrocyte, you could pretty much pop Nova Warp as soon as the blink animation ends, and because you're coming from further away with Astrocyte, it means that you're a lot less likely to be noticed going in. That's pretty much the live commentary portion of the video over, and now I'm going to spam the fuck out of PvP until I get decent background footage, and then I'll start talking from the script while that's going on in the background and giving you guys some more tips on how to use Blink in PvP. Yeah, aside from that, enjoy the video. I'm going to shell out and say like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you're excited for the Witch Queen expansion. This video should be out on the Monday before Witch Queen, while everything's down for maintenance before the release of the expansion. So yeah, let us know if you enjoy the video, and so on and so forth. I'll talk to you guys very soon when we're in the new year of Destiny content. Hello and welcome to a guide to using Blink in Destiny 2 PvP. I'm going to preface this guide by pointing out that I do not enjoy Destiny PvP in the slightest. I peaked in Season of the Worthy, which was coming up to 2 years ago now, and since then I've had a tough time in the Crucible. However, with the Witch Queen expansion coming out soon, and the reworked Void subclasses coming with it, we're expecting to see a lot more Void Walkers in PvP along with the other Void subclasses. And because I like seeing a viewer count higher than 10 on our YouTube videos, and I have been using Blink in PvP pretty much for the whole 1700 hours I've been playing Destiny for, I feel like this guide is necessary. You may have noticed in the intro I mentioned this guide, which has a much higher production quality than mine, so go check out Gerda? I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. The video and their content is very good, they seem like a really cool guy, and their voice gives me a boner. They also cover Blink in PvE, which I will not be talking about here. Now then, Blink. Do you want the long and short of it? Don't use Blink. It is unreliable, fucks you up more than it helps you, genuinely can be one of the most tilting things on the face of the earth from the user's point of view, and is so difficult to learn and relearn. If you take a break from using Blink for a while, be prepared to learn everything again from the ground up. However, I love this jump. Blink is part of what made me want to play Destiny 2 in the first place, or even Destiny as a whole. It looks cool, it feels cool when it works, but it does force you into some not so great scenarios where you have to build your entire playstyle around Blink. My loadout I will use will consistently have a shotgun, a hand cannon or an SMG, and my gorgeous purple sword because it's fun and you can fuck off. Never forget Astrocyte Verse, but we'll come back to it. Blink has two major functions, getting into cover and getting out of cover. Is there an enemy hiding behind a rock? Blink above them, drop down, scream hello there, and run bang them in the forehead. Are they expecting you to come over and you lose that option because blinking leaves you more open than your mum's legs on a Saturday night? Just blink to the side and they'll be incredibly confused and you'll avoid any splashback. The only limitations Blink has is your own imagination, low ceilings, and weird things with geometry on PvP maps. Radar usage is also incredibly important, as well as outsmarting your opponent, especially since Astrocyte allows you to keep the radar up while you use your Blink. While you may think that you're super cool blinking around a corner, there's a good chance that that hunter has already entered the stratosphere as soon as he heard your feet leave the ground, and now he's sniped you with Fellwinters. You have to assume your enemy's actions. Are they camping the door with a shotgun? Blink through, turn 180 degrees midway through the animation and blow their head off. Well, there's no reacting to it. If you don't turn during the animation or fast enough, then the enemy is going to react faster than you. Unless it's you that breaks your wrist first. And that's where the skill usage in Blink comes in. You need to react to where you know the enemy is before they can react to where you've gone. It's a quick jump, but it's not unreactable. Now that you've outgunned your opponent, but they know you're using Blink now, so what do you do now? They know all of your tricks. They know you can approach from above, the side, fucking below if you really want to go for it. Now you start using Blink to switch cover. And this is where how Blink works comes into being a bit more important. Blink's direction, as in the direction where you go when you hit spacebar the second time, is momentum based. Whichever direction you are currently heading in is the direction your Blink will go in. So if you press space at this point in the jump, you'll go this way, or at this point, you'll go this way. With a bit of learning, you should be able to pretty consistently be able to blink in an exact straight line using the momentum technique. You can move yourself from one piece of cover to another with ease without exposing yourself in the slightest. Is an enemy hard scoping a lane with a Lorentz driver? Blink from here to here, and now you can start your approach from a different angle. Is an enemy rushing you? Blink from here up to here to grab some high ground and also confuse the shit out of them. This is where Astrocyte helps a lot more, as that extended range on the Blink lets you reach a new point of cover from further away. I realise now that that is pretty self-explanatory given the context. So now you've outgunned and outskilled your opponent, and you've managed to gain your super in your match. Now what? Well, as an average Nova Warp enjoyer, I could recommend one thing. Hold on to your balls. As a Nova Warp, you are guaranteed to lose to each and every single other super in the game. So just don't pop it unless you are 100% confident you can deal with the opponent. Aside from this, Blink plus Astrocyte on a Nova Warp is horrendously broken, especially after the years of practice that I've had with it and all of the buffs that have come to Nova Warp recently. Blinking into the middle of a group of people, pop that shit and destroy every stompy wearing cretin in your local area. If one of them got away, while you can outrun a normal Nova Warp quite easily, A blinking Nova Warp, you have no fucking chance. I could cover the map if it's in a straight line in just over a second with the correct usage of my movement abilities, and with the use of the in-super blink that comes with Nova Warp, you could use it to immediately change your direction and blink at a right angle instead. You do need to be careful to not leave yourself dead in the open at the end of your super though, or you will be immediately killed. It is also very important to remember that blink has a cooldown. Astrocyte lowers this cooldown, but it does not remove it entirely. After blinking twice in a row, there is about a 3-4 second time period where you will not be able to blink again, and sometimes trying to spam blink in between this cooldown period will just seem to not let you blink at the right time anyway. Because blink is a buggy fucking mess. Now that I've gone over how fun blink can be, you're probably wondering what are the downsides, like why on earth would you not use it? And there is quite a few reasons why people don't use blink. It forces you into a very particular loadout. You need to use Astrocyte for the jump so that it can be used efficiently enough to actually get by, and you pretty much have to use a shotgun most of the time to get anything out of an engage that your team does. You can use a sniper with it. I don't recommend it. You cannot retreat with blink though. You can S key and backpedal as much as you like while shooting someone with your hand cannon or your SMG, but as soon as you try and blink backwards, you are locked into that animation and no longer able to fight back. Once you are in, you are in. Blink's hitbox is fucking massive as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to put up a visual aid right now. When you blink, your hitbox is not here to here, it is not here and here, it takes up this entire fucking area. So if anybody decides to shoot at an ally down this lane with anything that has the hitbox the size of a truck, as soon as you decide to blink between these 2 points of cover, despite your character model disappearing and reappearing, you will still get insta-killed by someone when they didn't even know you were there. And lastly, blink is incredibly map dependent. If Trials is on anomaly this week, then you can kiss your ass goodnight and never play that shit, since the ceilings are so low you can't actually get a consistent straight line blink off, so most of the time you'll just blink straight into the ground, which is quite funny because blinking straight into the ground is so fast that there's a good chance that you'll just immediately die on impact as well sometimes, which is probably one of my favorite bugs in the game. I love blink, and despite everything wrong with it, I will still never not use it. It's a playstyle I love and one that I have worked on for literal years, but it's not for everyone, and I'm putting out this video to help some new people carry my legacy forward in the Crucible, or to make some people aware that they shouldn't be trying it in the fucking first place. Thank you very much for watching, don't forget to leave a like, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Witch Queen on the 22nd as much as I'm excited for it. I'll see you guys soon, maybe even in the Crucible. Also, using Blink for 3 fucking months, those are baby numbers. Try doing it for almost 3 fucking years.